All right. What's up, y'all?
What's going on, fellas?
Living the fucking dream.
Yeah, man. Happy hump day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just figured we'd do this on, Wednesday a month, just because what the fuck else you got to do on Wednesdays?
Nothing.
Yeah. People got to work, come home, take care of kids, cook dinner, shit. So,
yeah.
But, welcome everybody who's watching this evening. I know we got a couple people who's going to tune in late because they had shit going on until a little later, but, I told them we'd probably be on here for 2 hours. So, to the way that we all talk.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we got Austin is live from what location? Yeah, tell them your location there, Austin. I mean, I know it.
At the Randolph County Asylum
in Indiana. So
yes.
He is live on location this evening. And me and John are in our studios. So we're not doing anything exciting like Austin tonight.
Well,
Austin's living the dream.
I'm telling you, man. I'm jealous, dude. I'm jealous.
Hey, come on now. It's not that far.
What's up, Kristen?
Hey, Kristen, what's going on?
Oh, Lord. All right. So the way that Paranormal News and Views works, if none of y'all have ever watched my Paranormal News and Views shit, I've got some news stories. Austin and John do not know what the news stories are. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Kristen.
They don't know what the news stories are, but these are current news stories that are just ridiculous in the paranormal. The whole point of Paranormal News and Views, we're not doing any of the fucking drama. We're not getting into any of that bullshit. There's enough of that. We're just here to have fun. And then once we get through the news stories, we'll get into tonight's topic with EVPs and spirit communication, what we think about all the different methods and things like that, and tell some stories. So y'all ready for the first news story tonight? All right. So George Michael's cousin, the singer George Michael from Wham, who died in 2000. He died on Christmas Day in 2016. And his cousin in England claims that the pop star spoke to him through his car radio and told him that he was free. I'm free, he said. Apparently it happened a couple of times. He came through the car radio. Just random cousin that nobody's ever heard of. This 6-year-old dude who, what is his occupation? Let me find it. He's like a fucking retired or some shit. Retired, I don't know, Mason or something. And he just, George Michael, one of the most famous people in the world, comes to this guy on his radio. I just thought that was like, what?
It's always the people that you don't know. Like, it's never like the wife. It's always like, oh, the third cousin, twice removed.
Right.
Twice removed.
Yeah. And like this dude's, he's a retired civil servant in England. So he's not, it just sounds like he wanted to be in the newspapers, what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
But this was just from August 14th. So from today, this article on the Mirror UK, which is the epitome of journalism.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he said it happened. His car radio went to static, and he heard George's voice calling out his name. Later that day, it happened again, but this time the voice said, "I'm free." He claims. Yeah, some random cousin trying to get some.
How many edibles do you think he ate?
Right.
That's a good question.
If you see the picture of
the edibles,
right. And so I just thought that was interesting. Dude's trying to, George Michael's been dead since 2016. Like, if you're gonna try to get famous off this, why didn't you do it before now? Like,
you should capitalize a long time ago.
Right when he first died.
It's true. Or maybe George Michael's.
They only get better. They get better.
He just got out.
So this one's right up your alley. John. A psychic claims doll is possessed by Princess Diana, and it's worried about the Princess Kate.
Oh, God.
I believe it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the doll that she's talking about is actually a Princess Diana doll. And she's possessed by Princess Diana.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, it's like a Diana Barbie.
Jesus Christ.
Chick's from Peru. The psychic's from Peru. She said she spoke to a Princess Diana figurine after a family asked her to observe the doll after noticing paranormal activity in their home. Oh, Lord.
Hopefully she doesn't drive around with it. That chance.
I still want a haunted doll.
Drive through any tunnels.
I still want a haunted doll, dude. I want one. I want one, dude, because I'm just gonna bring her out. Oh, Handable. Bringing Handable out, baby. Retirement.
Milagros Albarracin from Peru agreed to observe the figure of Lady Di after the customer confided in her and said she knows the doll moved around in her display cage. So she got one of those protected cages, like a
is it plexiglass? You should get in that business. How do you make protective doll cases? Like,
I heard plexiglass.
Water into the glass, or
I heard plexiglass keeps the demons back.
right, probably,
It's got to be plexiglass.
Yep.
And vajazzled oven mitts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And also, why would Diana, if she's going to possess a doll, why does she show up in Peru of all places?
Yeah, of all places.
Yeah.
Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That is pretty random.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Apparently the woman said the doll would change positions when she wasn't looking, and explained it was the only doll who displayed any behavior. So it's just that doll that's possessed or haunted. Yeah. All these self-proclaimed psychics all over the world. Interesting. Yeah. And the whole haunted, I'm not convinced about haunted objects in the very least.
No.
Why? I just don't understand when I die, why would I attach myself to a fucking doll or a dresser or a chair or you know some random piece of furniture? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense. Over the years, you know, all the cases I've done, dude, I've never seen a haunted doll ever. Like never, not once. You know, you're just like
they're creepy, but I mean,
I don't like dolls, dude. Like, I mean, dude, when I was a kid, my friend's mother had all kinds of these big antique dolls. They had like human hair and shit. They were creepy. And I would spend the night or stuff at his house, and I would sleep on the couch, and they were all down in the living room, and they would all be facing me. I would turn them all around and shit. His mom would come down and go, who the hell touched those dolls? They're expensive. Don't touch them. I'm like, I don't want them looking at me and shit.
Right. That's my point, Kristen, is like a monster truck or something, like something cool, not a fucking Princess Diana doll.
Wasn't that was it James Dean? Who was it? Who like supposedly haunted the car?
Oh yeah, James Dean, the spider. Yeah, the spider.
Spider, yep.
I think it's still supposed to be possessed. Like anybody that owns any parts of it. Right. Well, that's like with the Bell Witch Cave that I'm going to be guest investigating this Saturday, and then even like the Petrified Forest. Mm-hmm. They get people sending rocks back that people take because they think that when they take it, it causes them to have misfortune. And
I know your life just sucks, man.
Yeah.
Life just sucks ass, man. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
All kinds of bad shit's gonna happen every day. It doesn't really matter.
I think Christine was a Thunderbird, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I seen that movie forever. Wasn't a Mustang, I don't think. In the movie Christine.
What? Christine? No, that was
the Stephen King book. Was that a Thunderbird or
no, it was the Chevy God damn, what the hell was it? Or no,
I can see the car.
What was it? I can't remember what the car was.
But that was a Stephen King story.
Cool movie though. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I don't know about the whole haunted doll bullshit or haunted anything.
Nah,
I've seen like haunted chairs, and it's not like some fancy chair that looks comfortable. It's like some piece of shit falling apart. Wicker bottom chair.
Plymouth Fury.
There we go. Yeah. Plymouth Fury. Yeah. But it's always ridiculous. It's not any kind of ornate or cool things that people possess. Right. And then I wish that damn Dybbuk box shit would go away. Because that guy come out and said that he lied, and people just keep perpetuating the Dybbuk box bullshit.
You were not going to tell me that Zach Baggins made something up.
It wasn't Zach Baggins. It was this dude.
Well, but he still has it in his museum.
Yeah, and it's all
100% real.
Yeah, like you're going to contain an evil fucking spirit in a wooden box with wax on it.
There's not even any plexiglass.
Yeah.
Not even using any oven mitts.
We fucked up. We didn't put it in plexiglass. God damn it.
But like, didn't I think like the Jewish community, wasn't it supposed to be like a Jewish thing? They came out and said Debbie boxes don't exist. Like that's not a thing.
Yeah,
this is made up. And then nobody even listened when they came out and said that.
It's the movie shit. It's the movie shit again that blows up all this bullshit,
Yeah. So I put these news stories in order. We got 2 more. And they just escalate. And so
I love it.
The last one is the best. So this one, COVID infection left me able to talk to the dead, so I married a ghost.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, this lady fell ill with COVID during her time in the hospital, in quotations, opened a portal to the afterlife. She is unable to close thanks to her ghostly encounter after previously marrying a spook. She's a singer-songwriter from Oxfordshire, England. She fell in love with Eduardo, the ghost of a Victorian soldier, in late 2021. He appeared in her home. However, after a year after they got married, she called it quits on the relationship amid accusations the spirit cheated on her. So,
okay. Gave him some of that paranormal jizz.
He's all fucking another ghost or something.
I'm for it though. Like every woman has always ended up at some point ghosting me. So at least if they're upfront about it, like, hey, I'm a ghost, then I'm cool, Like that's fine. So
oh Lord.
That would be something though. Wake up and there's a naked ghost in your room. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna last long.
Yeah, what do you do when you walk in on your naked ghost husband having sex with a naked ghost woman?
You'd be laying there like,
what do you do at that point?
You'd be laying there like,
you can't fight them.
You couldn't be disappointed.
Right. Man, that'd be awkward. Just throw some plexiglass at him.
Yeah.
So this is not the only story I've ever seen where somebody married a ghost.
Yep.
A few years ago, there was a lady who married a pirate's ghost, she claimed. And they got divorced too. Yeah.
And didn't she like marry the Titanic or something random like that afterwards?
Oh my God.
I swear. I could be
Jesus Christ.
So she called in an exorcist and was convinced her ex Eduardo was gone for good. So she treated herself to a trip to France where she says she met another ghost named Fabienne near the Eiffel Tower. When he followed her home, she became suspicious, and her worst fears later confirmed. It was Eduardo in disguise. I told you these only get better.
Oh man.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, he pulled a bait switch on her in Paris.
Getting catfished by a ghost.
Oh Lord. People are fucking crazy. They're out there,
dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Christy. I didn't see your comment, but yeah. I had the webpage pulled up that I was reading from, but wow. Yeah, he done pulled a bait and switch on her catfish. My name is Fabian. And then she gets back to England. No, it's Eduardo. That she divorced and had exercised.
Right. Does the ghost get half her stuff? How does that work when you go through a divorce?
I don't know. I want to know how ghost dick works.
There's many questions. Can we get this woman on next week?
Oh man.
Oh, and last but definitely not least, this is ridiculous. So, we have lots of celebrities out there that write books. And I think I'm fine with them writing books on like their experiences and things, right? And working on TV shows and whatever, if they're actually investigators. But there's some of them that have just taken it too far. Because Amy Bruni, if you know who she is, she used to be on Ghost Hunters. That's how she started. And then her and dude got their own show. What is the name of that show? Her and the gay dude.
Shit. It's so lame. I don't even remember the name of it.
I don't know which. That dude.
Kindred Spirits. That's what
Kindred Spirits. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were together.
So Amy Bruni did not apparently make enough money off her book about her being an investigator. She has now written a book called Food to Die For: Recipes and Stories from America's Most Haunted and Legendary Locations. So you wonder, how does she tie in the food and the ghost? Well, let me read you the This is on Amazon. This is the synopsis. Discover tantalizing recipes, spine-tingling stories, and historic photos from the most notorious haunted locations across America in this fun and fascinating cookbook. Paranormal investigator and kindred spirits co-host Amy Bruni leads you through eerie hotels, haunted homes, hellish hospitals, and spooky ghost towns, giving you stories and a recipe from each place. Whether you're in the mood for Lizzie Borden's meatloaf or want to serve up spooky prison stories along with sugar cookies from Alcatraz, Food to Die For is your guide to ghoulish gastronomy. What in the two fucks is this bullshit?
Lizzie Borden's meatloaf. Hey, Lizzie, give me a slice of that meatloaf.
I mean, did she tell her the recipe through a fucking spirit box? Like what?
Yeah, it probably was.
I mean, I've seen people like do the ones like the tombstones. I think that's kind of cool. Like people who have recipes on their tombstones, and then there's like I think it might be YouTube channel or something like that where they go through and they make them. Like, okay, that ties in. That's kind of cool. But this is just I don't know. It's a little.
I think it's a bit of a fucking stretch, is what I think.
It's a bit of a cash grab.
Well, let me read you some of the foods from some of the locations. To be fair, Southern Fried Chicken from Missouri State Penitentiary, Sheboygan Asylum Caesar Salad. Say that really fast. Sheboygan Caesar Salad. Cornbread inspired by the Villisca Axe Murder House. How do you get fucking cornbread from an axe murder house?
That don't make any sense at all.
I know. Like,
where the fuck did the cornbread come from? Out of the axe murderer house.
It's inspired by the axe murder house.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, none. Absinthe frappe from the old Absinthe House.
Does she know what absinthe is?
I don't know.
Absinthe's like a whiskey drink, right?
Oh god.
Vegetable soup from Waverly Hills. What in the fuck does vegetable soup have to do with Waverly Hills Sanatorium?
They fed the patients vegetable soup. Beef and barley.
From my experience working in medicine for 20 years, institution food is not good. Why would you want to make their chicken soup?
No, it tastes like shit.
Yeah. I'm with you, Destination Spooky. How many ways are there to make a fucking Caesar salad? A Sheboygan. This is a Sheboygan Caesar salad.
Right.
Oh Lord. What anything to fucking make money and stay in the spotlight. That's what I think it is. It's ridiculous. There's plenty more. Like I'll just go through some of the best ones on the actual introduction to the book. Because surprisingly, she only wants $14.99 for the Kindle version of this cookbook.
That's it?
Yeah, only $14.99 for the Kindle fucking digital version.
Jesus. I'm still waiting on Handabell deal back here, movie deal. She's waiting.
You could probably use her in a different way to make some money.
I told her, I said, look, I'm taking her to Penhurst. Come on over, put in $1 in a jar, you'll get a rub and tug. $1 rub and tugs by Handabell.
Hell, that beats an autographed picture from somebody who's been on TV one time.
Yeah.
$25.
I was gonna say, I got $25. Let's go.
Yeah.
Kristen said it sounds slutty. I'm in.
It's slutty. I'm in. That's hilarious.
Right? There you go, Christine.
Yeah.
That demon wine from Nesper. Yeah. Here's some of the other recipes. There's a fudge sauce from the Excelsior Hotel in Jefferson,
I was going to
Texas.
say prison or something like that.
I was waiting.
That would have been perfect. She really missed one there. That was the perfect opportunity.
Right. She missed the perfect opportunity. There's a crustless jack and red pepper quiche from the Hotel del Coronado. I don't know what these have to do with anything.
Yeah, like the ghost must have told her the recipes.
From the Crescent Hotel and Spa. This is original right here. The Crescent Hotel and Spa in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Historic muffins. That's what it says. Wow. Historic muffins.
Historic muffins.
Are they from 1855? Is that why? Hard as a rock. And from Farnsworth House in Gettysburg, which we're familiar with, John.
Yeah.
The goober pea soup.
Goober pea soup.
Goober pea soup.
Should have named it Linda Blair.
R. Kelly eats.
The Linda Blair pea soup.
And from the Jenny Wade house in Gettysburg, English rolls. As I don't know anything to fucking stay relevant and make money, I guess. But I just thought that was fucking ridiculous. I had to save it for last.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
They're like, yes, right now.
That's my question now. Does a Farmworks athlete actually serve pea soup? I mean, they are a bed and breakfast. But the Jenny Wade house doesn't fucking serve food, as far as I know.
No, they don't serve anything.
So where the English muffins come from, or English rolls?
I heard the door that has the bullet hole in it. That's not even the original door.
Really?
They just drill a hole in it.
They just drill a fucking hole in there. That's not even the original door.
Oh, she was baking bread when she got shot.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's why she died, because she was in the fucking kitchen baking bread.
Yeah.
Well, one lone bullet.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Why would you be making fucking bread when there's a war all around your house going off, you know? Yeah, I think I'll pop in a loaf of fucking bread while the cannons are going off and the musket fire is fucking popping everywhere.
Yeah, at that point, you kind of deserve it.
Yeah, like any normal person would be like, let's get in the fucking basement and hope the fucking house doesn't get a bomb on it. You know what I mean? Like a shell or something. He's making bread. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I think that story is a little fabricated. I want to say it's fabricated. I have to say it's fabricated.
That house is ridiculous anyway. I wasn't going to pay that much money to go on a fucking tour of that little bitty house. The gift shop was cool. The gift shop was actually pretty cheap, but I wasn't paying like $25 a piece to go through this house and hear this story about one person getting shot when I can go to the battlefield for free and talk about thousands of people getting killed, you know.
I actually investigated the Jenny Wade a long time ago. And
the bread was to feed soldiers and cover the smell of death, allegedly. Yeah.
Sounds like they used to walk
shit made up for tourists.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. I mean, I investigated that place many years ago, and nothing spectacular happened. The orphanage is cool across the street.
Recipes.
Yeah, no recipes.
Oh, they didn't come over to the spirit box and give you the English muffin recipe.
Nope.
The goober pea soup.
That's one thing I don't do is use the spirit box. I never use it. I hate it.
Where is he at when I need him? He goes to the Lawrence Milano. He goes to them Farnsworth all the time. He would know if they had goober pea soup or not.
Dude,
he comes on the live stream sometime.
I actually have a funny story about the Farnsworth. There's a guy I know. He runs he does plays and stuff, and he runs he used to run the ghost tours, and they have this shit set up in the basement of the Farnsworth, right? So they have all these chairs, and he's telling all the ghost stories and shit of the Farnsworth. So me and my wife go, it's like near Halloween, right? She wanted to go. So we go. All these people are in there, and he's telling all these fucking stories about the ghosts, and they came down the stairs and walked down the aisle, you know, and all these people were here. And there's 30 people in this little fucking basement, and the ghost walks down the aisle, right? So they're all these people have never been, they're not paranormal investigators. They have no idea. So they're all fucking like listening to their story, right? And there's candles everywhere, right? So I'm sitting next to a candle, and these people are behind me, but the speaker's kind of off this way. So they're all like this, right? So these people behind me, I'm looking at them. I keep turning around. They're fucking into it, right? I'm like, oh, I'm going to fuck with them. So I reach over, and I fucking put out the candle, right? Put my hand down real quick. And I hear the lady behind me, oh my God, the candle went out. And my wife goes, John, the candle went out. I said, did it? She goes, yeah. I was like, I know. She goes, how do you know? I said, because I fucking did. She goes, fucking dick. She's like, you're such a fucking dick.
Has she met you?
She married me, unfortunately.
I think Destination Spooky's onto something. That she took an AI program, and the AI program said, the Farnsworth, we'll give them goober pea soup. and you know, the Villisca Axe murder sounds like it needs some cornbread.
Yeah, obviously. Fucking doesn't make any sense.
Larry's a cool guy. I like Lawrence Milano. He's a good guy. He's been on my show and very sweet, down to earth. I met him at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash last year. Very genuine, good guy, as far as I know. All right. Well, y'all want to get to tonight's topic? We've wasted 25 minutes of these people's time already.
That was fun, though, dude. I had fun.
Oh, Lord, you got to have a good laugh, you know.
Oh, my God.
Because there's always stupid shit in the paranormal news. Oh, Lord. And I've heard stories about Amy Bruni from when she's been at when she's gone to do events where people pay to investigate with her.
Yeah.
And I've heard from people in the industry, but also heard from a friend that I know who went to one of the events and said that she doesn't have a clue how to investigate. That she didn't investigate on it. She just stood around and was watching everybody else. And she's supposed to be leading the investigation. And she just seemed like she didn't know what the hell she was doing.
Doesn't surprise
Sounds
me.
about right.
Well, that should tell you how they cast shows,
right?
You know, paranormal shows in Hollywood, just like they do everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
So he never listens to. Oh, Lord.
I'll tell you one thing. If I ever get casted on another show, I'm putting a big ass motherfucking cucumber in my pants so I can stack down there.
Yeah.
Like the dude at the Olympics that caught the high bar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude. They were like, man, that guy's fucking strapped. Yeah. Little do you know.
Yeah, I can only imagine Christy that she takes other people's research. Of course she does. She's writing fucking cookbooks from the dead to say relevant.
Yeah. Total bullshit.
I've never had her on my show, never asked her to be on my show because I never was interested in her or Adam Barry, one of the other. His whole thing is, look at me, I'm gay in the paranormal. I mean, that's his whole thing. Is like, okay, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So I'm gay in the paranormal. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? That's the least of my concerns about me in the paranormal.
Didn't they do a show where it was like drag queens investigating the paranormal?
Yeah. That's some funny
shit. Whatever happened to that?
I don't know, but it's some funny shit.
I need to check that out because that just sounds freaking hilarious. It sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was on Netflix. I found it on Netflix. It's a Canadian show, and it's this. They have this psychic dude with them, and there's this other bigger dude who's the host, and he's fruity as can be. And then they have this little skinny gay kid that half the time he's dressed in drag. It's hilarious, but they actually do catch stuff and they actually investigate. But it's funny as shit. And I can't think of the damn name. I can't think of the name of the show, but it's pretty funny.
Oh my God.
So they started at the Clown Motel. Yeah, that's some funny shit. I always like when Taps used to bring in like all the wrestlers and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you bring in wrestlers?
Yeah.
Is that your same? Is that the same demographic? The paranormal and wrestling? Like I don't. Like WWE and paranormal have something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the paranormal shows are kind of right up there with the WWE shit, you know,
fake ass shit.
Yeah, come on in here and get some of this fake ass shit here.
I don't know. I always find that interesting. Like you can't get any bigger stars to come on and investigate than wrestlers.
Well, fuck, Taps had Meatloaf on there a couple times.
Meatloaf was an awesome guy, though. I mean, he was a great guy.
Cool. Meatloaf was on there. He was handling his business.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're talking about he had Bat Out of Hell and like kind of that whole thing. So kind of. I mean, that would be like having Alice Cooper on. He's kind of or Ozzy Osbourne. Investigate the paranormal.
The Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, biting heads off bats and shit. Yeah. All right, so our topic tonight is spirit voices. So, and when me and John were talking about it, we had said like EVPs, but I thought we would expand it to spirit voices in general, whether you're talking about a spirit box, Estes session, any of that type stuff instead of just EVPs, but any way that you kind of, even audible voices that we hear, because I know we've all had that happen to us too. So where do you want to start with the spirit voice phenomenon?
That's a good question.
Let's start with equipment. Because like I said, we've all heard voices, and John was actually telling me a story before we came on air about hearing a voice telling him to turn the camera off. That just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do y'all think about spirit boxes? We'll start with spirit boxes and the Estes method.
I wasn't convinced on the spirit box until I did an investigation where our voices were coming through the spirit box. Plain as day, our voices. And I was like, okay. I haven't been on the radio, so I know that this is not the radio.
Right.
And it was giving a lot of direct responses, but Spirit Box is one of the things I always say it's as good as the person using it. Because if you let it run for 3 hours, you're going to eventually get something that lines up. Same thing goes with the Estes method. Same thing goes with, literally any of these tools or whatever you want to call them. Like, things, if you wait long enough, things will match up, but that doesn't mean it's paranormal,
Exactly. Well, we talk a lot about pareidolia when you look at pictures. Yeah. Seeing faces where they're not really there and shapes in the clouds and shit. But you can have pareidolia with audio too.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. You can hear things that aren't really there. And like you're saying, Austin, you listen to that static over and over again. Your brain's going to try to make sense of it, and you're going to hear shit that's not there. And I've had times where I kind of thought we were getting a good answer, like getting direct responses to questions through the Spirit Box. But when I use it, it's always scanning at 300 milliseconds, which is one of the fastest speeds.
Right.
So that you're not getting full words out of the DJs and stuff. And I've heard full sentences come across it too, which should be impossible.
Exactly. Yes.
Do I think it works all the time? No. To me, I like the Estes method better because I think you take part of the human element out with having somebody in a separate room asking questions. If you do it correctly, you can't just sit in front of the person with headphones on and ask questions where they can see what you're asking.
Right.
And I think certain people, and I don't even know if that has anything to do with the radio. Maybe that has something to do with some sort of psychic phenomena. Because certain people I've seen are better at channeling that, I guess, in a way than other people with the Estes method. What do you think about the Estes method in Spirit Box, John?
I don't like either.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's a valid proof of paranormal phenomena. It's sweeping radio stations, and voices are coming through radio stations. And it's like that old saying, if you believe something hard enough, it's going to come true, right? Right. People are automatically thinking the place is already haunted, so they're listening to a Spirit Box, and somebody asks a question, and a radio station says yes. Oh my God, it said yes, and automatically they're assuming it's paranormal. You have to equal out everything before you can say it's paranormal. To me, because I do residential cases, I don't do these big places like a lot of people do. So for me, giving real hard proof is really validating the phenomena, other than listening to a Spirit Box or an Estes session of someone listening with a red light in their face with a ghost box going on. I mean, that's just not valid proof to me. You know what I mean? Even though I've used the ghost box in the past, I used the original Hack Shack back in the day, and there were some few interesting things that came through the box that I really couldn't explain. But then again, is it real proof that there was a ghost talking to it? I can't say it is. You know what I mean? Now, if I'm in a room and it's just me in here and I hear a voice go, "Hey, John," and I recorded, I can physically say, "Hey, I heard a voice say my name. I recorded it." This is definitely a valid proof that there was something in the room with me. I'm by myself. You know what I mean?
Kristen said party pooper.
I know, Kristen. I'm a total.
Well, like with the equipment, with most of the equipment stuff, I've always been the type, like, if I haven't tried it or used it to make up my mind and a valid opinion and looked at it scientifically, then I can't sit here and say, well, I don't believe in it, And I'm not saying that you're saying that, John. I'm just saying that from my perspective.
Yeah, I've tried it. I've tried all of it, but I just don't think it's valid. I don't. For me, like trying to give people an answer, clients and stuff.
Yeah.
To say it's valid, I really can't. You know what I mean? Because I can't prove it. I have to be able to say, hey, this really happened. Like, I heard a voice. I captured it. There was no one outside. There's a female voice in here. There were no females. Things like that. I need to be able to really, really validate it. But if I'm out at a place like where Austin's at and people are doing it and they're getting cool responses, yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? But as far as being, validating it, you really can't. You know what I mean? It's really not a valid source of proof.
Well, I would never I've used it and continue to use, especially the S's method, on locations. But I'm also not doing, like you're saying, residential, where you need to be a little more serious about what you're presenting to your clients and things like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, I don't record the sessions because I don't plan on putting it the fuck out there as evidence. Like, to me, it's just like having a personal experience. And the only times that I've really believed in the shit, like I said, is when I've heard full sentences come across, which is impossible. You know what I'm saying? And it was a direct response to what we were saying or what we were talking about.
Right.
It wasn't just yes or no. That shit's kind of like, interpretive, like you're saying. And also, correlation doesn't always mean that it's
exactly,
something paranormal. What do y'all think about the apps? I know the Echo Vox and what's the other one? Necro something?
The Necrocom or something like that.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Well, I will say when we went to the Night House, we had some really, really good responses when I downloaded it. I don't know if you remember that or not. We were sitting out on your porch.
Yeah. I just the problem that I have with technology like that is that you don't know. No, I do remember it sitting out on the porch of the Night House and
When downloaded the app and it was talking about like Eduardo and how his tummy hurt and
right. It was completely fucking ridiculous. Yeah, and we were both delirious at that point in time. Necrophonic, yeah, that's what it is.
There it is. Necrophonic.
The problem, so Kristen, the problem that I have with them is I think it's in the programming, because you don't know who programs it and puts it out for $10 to buy the damn thing, what their intentions are, because the more results that people get from it, guess what? More people are going to buy it for $10. And so if it's listening to what you're saying, I mean, look how far AI has come, right? John, you use it all the time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Look how far AI has come.
I love it.
Yeah, for fun. Like, not a big deal.
You just
like the ghost radar and shit like that people, okay, if you want to have fun with that, go ahead. I don't care. But but like the problem is I think it's listening to you and it's spitting out responses based on what you're talking about. Also, what people don't understand is that if you're using it on your phone, for one, it's got your location, your GPS location. So, like in a cemetery, it can pop up names associated with that cemetery that it finds online. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If it's smart. And also, a lot of people say, well, I'll put my phone on airplane mode. Well, how do you know that the app hasn't already downloaded everything it needs to know before you even put it on airplane mode? Maybe as soon as you got to this location, like say where Austin's at tonight, at the asylum.
Putting it on right now.
Even if he puts on airplane mode, as soon as his phone got to that location, that app could be running in the background and could already download the info that it needed for that location to spit out words that are pertinent to that location.
It doesn't even need to do that though. Like, these places are haunted supposedly. If it spits out any word, it can be relevant, right? Like, help is like a very common one. Like, oh, they need help. No, it's just a random word.
I'm not saying that they can't work, because we don't know how spirits. We don't know how spirits can communicate. I mean, I'm not saying that sometimes you can't get some sort of actual response out of it. I just don't trust them. I just don't trust the apps. And it's each their own. I'm not going to tell anybody they're wrong with what they're doing. Whatever you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody. I mean, now if you're going, into somebody's house like John does, and you're spitting out all this bullshit because you're using ghost radar to find ghosts, and you found 85 demons in their house in a portal. Then we may have issues.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big fan of the phone apps at all. I don't like them at all, because I know these phones, they listen.
Right.
They listen. They record. So that app is going off, and the whole time is there here, and then 2 minutes later, demon. A demon in here. Nah, you can't do that. I mean, of course, you spit out names. It's hearing what you're saying. These phones are smart. They, like you said, AI now. These people are developing apps with AI that, dude, it's just they're too unreliable, you know?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's no one here. I'm not getting anything.
Well, do you have phone service?
yeah, I've got phone service.
The more bars you got, the more you get.
I guess.
All right,
now hooked up to the Wi-Fi. Come on now.
But
when
it's
you
the
get
middle.
back there, when you get back there later, Austin say, hand a bell, rub and tug, and see if it comes up later in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So it's dangerous. they're splinters, man. Splinters.
Told you, dude.
I'll give them that one.
It's listening.
Yep.
You gotta make sure you have some good Murphy's. You gotta have some good Murphy's mineral oil before you do the rub and tug.
They're downstairs. They're redoing it down there with some, so we're good.
Kristen said she sent you a PM, John. She can't say it in the chat.
Oh,
you want some meatloaf? Well, go look at Amy's book. You can get you some meatloaf.
That's funny. That's
Lizzie
funny.
Borden meatloaf.
That's funny, Kristen. Jesus.
One of the things that I've seen that I find interesting that I don't know what to think about it because I've seen different results, and it may just be spitting out names because I heard names, but is the geoports, which is a spirit box, and it just basically has two guitar pedals on it. One takes out the noise, the other gives a little reverb.
Yeah.
And I've actually the first time I ever saw one used, I didn't believe in them. I'm like, whatever. It was nicely packaged, one of those expensive $600 ones in the old radio, box. And but I said, my name is Eric. What's your name? And it said Eric, and we kept going back and forth. And it just kept saying Eric, and I said, fine. I guess your name's Eric too. I thought that was interesting, but then I thought, I just could be spitting my own name back out at me because I said it.
Yeah.
But then we've also sit in the conference room at the Thomas House with a huge group of us and gotten direct response after direct response without any responses that didn't make sense to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm on the fence about those things. Like I said, I'd never presume as evidence. I'm like y'all, video, pictures, or actual recorded audio, like EVPs.
I did one of the places I filmed at, we did an interesting one where we were doing a Estes method, but we were at two separate locations. So the person who was under was a block and a half down the road at another haunted place. I don't think it really is. But because the whole reason is that there was this claim that this spirit moved from location to location, which would make sense when you dig into the history. And now I know that I'm being followed. So that's terrifying. Right as but anyway, so we did the Estes method there. And I called them, muted the phone, kind of like we were talking about doing. And what was interesting about that was we were not only getting responses that matched up, I would also ask for it to do other things, and they were having like visual things happen when I'd ask and stuff like that, which is wild. So it really tied into the whole, everything kind of worked together, like the Estes method, then we got this visual stuff, then we got all this stuff, but it was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, and like I said, it doesn't mean that the spirits can't communicate that way because we don't understand how it works. But
right.
It's harder to prove that way is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think about the old Panasonic recorders that cost like $5,000 now? That they use all of them use on TV, and they have these miraculous results with this expensive ass recorder they don't make anymore.
I've experienced them. I was in a location, and the guy had one of those Panasonic DR60s or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're in the same room, and I asked, if there's someone here, can you say your name? Now, I didn't hear shit. My recorder picked up nothing, but that DR60 picked up a voice that said Richard Margram, playing this like we're talking. And I'm like,
yeah.
He played it back. He goes, dude, Richard Margram. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So let me hear that. It's shitty recording. The recording system is just so fucking old, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, it says Richard Margram. Like, and I listen to mine, and it's like, you can hear a mouse pissing on a piece of cotton on mine. There's nothing.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not understanding that, but maybe it's that older technology is, it's magnetic and shit like that. And maybe that's the reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Panasonic, people actually reached out to Panasonic and tried to get them to remake that recorder, and they refused. They refused. They could make probably a couple $1 billion on it with all the people that want one.
Yeah.
As much as they're selling them for on eBay for like $3,000 or $4,000. Seen them as high as $5,000.
Yeah, I've seen them $5,000 or $6,000.
That's insane.
Especially at the height of for a $20 recorder that was cheaply made in China.
Straight garbage.
Yeah. The quality shit.
Yeah,
when you hear it played back in that little speaker, it sounds like shit. But I'm just one of the, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Yeah. So that's why I was always skeptical of those, and why people were out there paying that much for them on eBay and shit. Though that's why people were selling them for that much, because people are paying that much. It's a whole supply and demand thing. If low supply, high demand, people can get money out of it, and it's only worth as much as somebody will pay.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, the price just gets driven up because of what people will pay. So I just think it's crazy. But I mean, your cell phone nowadays is so sensitive with the microphone. If you have a good recording app, you don't even need a recorder. I have a really good recorder that is an Olympus, but I like it because you just flick the button up and it starts recording automatically, even if it's off.
Right.
And you can start recording really quickly. And Austin went out and bought one, and that's the only recorder I'll buy from now on. I hope they make them forever, because they're just easy to use. But there's nothing special about it, it's just really easy to use. But
I use these task cams.
Yeah,
they're great. I love them.
I have one of those too, and that, you want to talk about hearing a mouse fart from across the road? Yeah, that thing. Those things are sensitive.
I plug in every investigation with them.
Yeah, and you can do so many things with the Tascam too, because you can hook microphones up to it and all kind of other shit. You can use the external microphone and the internal microphones, the little rabbit ear microphones, at the same time and record. Yeah, so you can do all kinds of different stuff with it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Christy said, I've done mostly remote investigations with another person on location for the last 4 years and have some very interesting stories of how distance means nothing to spirits. I would agree to that. I mean, why? Time and distance probably means nothing to them. I mean,
time, space. The phenomena is pretty fascinating. As a paranormal investigator, you hear a voice come out of thin air, and you're the only one standing there. It's, and you hear people like, "Oh, well, what's so great about what you're doing?" Like, dude, you just heard a voice come out of thin air. There's no one there. That's pretty fucking amazing. Like, it defeats all scientific purposes of what it's defying everything. You're like, dude, is this a ghost? Is it something else? What is it? You know what I mean? Is it interdimensional? You don't know. You know what I mean? We're guessing it's spirits, or is it radio waves? Is it, we don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm leaning toward it's definitely something paranormal, because it's stuff that's reacting, with you. You're asking questions and they're responding. You're getting questions answered by something that's not there. So,
well, and also it's different voices all the time. Sometimes it's a female, sometimes it's male, and different cadence of voices, higher, lower, depending on whether it's female or male. And sometimes you get little kid voices and things. Sometimes it's like gruffer of a voice. I find it interesting to think about, because I have no idea how this would happen. The way that we talk is from our vocal cords vibrating, creating waves, and you get sound. So it makes more sense to me, physics wise and science wise, that a spirit could show itself because it's energy. Then how do they project the sounds? You know what I'm saying? To have us recording them, like, how does that work?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, sound, it travels far. I mean, it travels 343 meters a second, which is like 375 yards over 3 football fields in a second. That's how fast sound travels. That's pretty far distance, and within a second, right? So,
and in water it travels even further.
Yeah, it travels longer distances and faster through water. So that's through air, which we're talking about, but through water, it's faster and longer. But on hertz levels of hearing stuff, we're between 20 and 20,000 hertz that we through the human hearing, right? We're in the 17,000 range that we can hear really well. Anything below 20 hertz is now you're getting into infrasound. So, and some of these things come through below 20 hertz. If you put it on a spectrogram and you catch a voice, you put it on a spectrogram and it's below 20 hertz in the infrasound hertz level, and you're like, how is that even possible? Like, you're getting a human voice on an infrasound hertz level. Like, it's not scientifically possible, but it's happening. And you're like, okay, how is this happening? You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. And a lot of people aren't thinking of it that way. They're just thinking, they watch the TV shows and, oh, it's EVP, and it's, you heard it out loud. But some of these things we're hearing are on a much lower scale on the hertz level that you really think, because you heard it through a device, and sometimes if you're not plugged into a recorder, like the recorders, they can hear below 20 hertz. They record below 20 hertz, which why sometimes you're in a room and you don't hear shit, but the recorder's picking it up because it's on a hertz level we can't hear with the human hearing.
Well, and also if you have your gain turned up at all on like that Tascam, which has gain, well, that gain is boosting those lower signals to where you can hear them. That's what gain does. It boosts it up 20, 30 decibels to where you can hear the smaller, slighter noises, to where if you didn't have that on, that turned up, then you're just going to hear what, we normally hear. So it depends on, and like, I mean, I even think things like cell phones, when you record with them, I think the microphones just automatically are set up that way because you're supposed to leave it on the table to record voice notes or whatever, the hell they have these recording programs on your phone, speech to text, things like that. So it has to have a sensitive microphone to hear you when you say, hey, Google, or hey, Siri, from across the room. And so it's going to automatically already have the gain jacked up to hear, the smaller noises, and it's already boosting that signal is what I'm getting at. So when you replay it back, you don't have to do anything to it because it's already boosting it. Tascam same way, like I said, with the gain turned up. And I think a lot of the recorders that you buy, they have an automatic, boost in gain on them, especially on the low end. A lot of them will boost the low end to a higher frequency so that you can hear it better. Even like car radios, you go and fuck with the equalizer. That's what the fucking equalizer does. Exactly. With the frequencies of the lows, mids, and highs. And so I won't get too much into sound theory, but because I used to be an audio engineer, so for live concerts. But I mean, you're messing with the sound that way, and that's why I don't. One of the things I don't agree with is when people take EVPs that they've recorded that you can hear on a recorder and put it into an audio program and start fucking with it. Now, if you put it in there to look at it like on a spectrogram and just look at it on the wave form of the spectrogram, that's fine. But then when you go boosting the signal, turning the sound up, putting this effect on it, well, you've just trashed the entire EVP because now you've made it something that it wasn't to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you're going to start to get pareidolia after you listen to it so many times.
Yeah.
And so I'm very much, if you can't hear what they're saying from the get-go, you putting it in software is not going to change that. You're just going to you'll start it's something that wasn't there to begin with.
Yeah, you start distorting it too. Like, I'll amplify things if they're like really low and I hear them, and I'll amplify them for clients so they can hear them. But I don't like if you do anything other than that, you're distorting the whole EVP itself. Like it's kind of like shit. Yeah.
Well, and I think you get into tampering with it to where you're changing the sound of it. I'm fine with boosting the sound. I mean, I've done that, like you said, so other people can hear it.
Yeah.
But you've already heard that sound, and it's not changing what you've already heard.
No,
by boosting it
louder.
Yeah, but when people go in and start fucking with it, changing the EQ and all these other things, like I was saying, you're changing the tone of it and the waveform of it and everything, and so you're actually changing it from what it originally was, where it may not even have been a voice, and now you're hearing a voice. Well, you just fucked with the wave signal, and so what do y'all think about the digital recorders versus the old tape recorders, like magnetic cassette tapes. I know that's a foreign concept to a lot of people nowadays because they weren't even alive when we had cassette tapes. But
I rock them both.
Yeah, it's just hard to find cassettes now.
Yeah, I thought when I first started doing this, I had a little piece of shit tape deck. You know, you put it in, push the lid down. It was one of them square ones.
Yeah.
But dude, I was capturing EVPs on it, and it has a magnetic strip in it, and I actually put a lot of EVPs on it, which was surprising. Then when digital came out, started using digital and catching things on digital, and it really, I don't know. I don't think there was a big difference between how many I caught on the tape deck compared to the digital. I've caught just as many, I think, on both. It's a strange phenomenon, man. Like, I think there's, you know, when you're investigating, if you're really paying attention to the environment, you don't need all these gadgets and shit, man, because if there's something really there, it's going to communicate with you and you're going to know it. You just got to be paying attention. You know, plug it. Like they call, you know, they have those recorders that are what, live EVP or some shit they say.
Yeah. Right.
All recorders are live EVP. All you do is hook your fucking headphones into them. It's live. You're live. And it's recording. It's not. Yeah. Somebody said, I went on a podcast. Somebody goes, "How do you do live EVP with that?" I'm like, plug it in. You're live. You're live. And then when you hear something, you can note in there, "Hey, I just heard a voice say, help me," or "Fuck you, John," you know, something like that. I mean, but and you can even mark it on the recorder. It has an indicator. You mark, boom, bang. It'll take you right back to where you heard that voice, you know?
Yeah, the reason I like to use my phone is Samsung. I've had Samsung phones forever, but they have a voice recorder program that's specifically from Samsung. You can only download it if you have a Samsung. It won't even show up in the App Store, but it has a bookmark function. So as you're recording, when we do especially when I do events, and we're all going around asking the same question to see, because sometimes the spirits will respond to one person. We call it roundtable EVP session, and then I'll go back and play it back. But I'm watching the waveform as people are asking questions. And so if I see a little bump in it, I'll hit the bookmark to know when we play it back, there may be something there. And we'll play it back, you know, live EVP. We'll play it back and listen. And you know, but that's, some of those programs are awesome for that. And especially if you have a Samsung phone, it's free. I'd download that. It's an app called Voice Recorder made by Samsung Corporation. And it's just wonderful. It works better than any recorder I've ever had. And I catch a lot. I don't know if it's just the sensitivity of it, but I feel like I catch a lot more EVPs with it than the voice recorder.
Yeah, even the recorders have voice recognition, and you can set your recorders to voice recognition. And when you're doing EVP sessions, you'll see a light go off when it's recognizing the voice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like you'll be talking and you'll see the light flash while you're up, and if it flashes, then the recorder called something. You know, some kind of voice recognition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I was just asking that question between the old recorders and new ones, because there are some people that believe more in the old ones because of the magnetic stone tape theory, which I was told by a parapsychologist that was a caveman theory in the paranormal.
I agree with that.
Hey, Damien.
Hey, Damien.
To me, it still makes sense though. The stone tape theory. I mean, why is that such a caveman theory? I think it's been around for so long because it holds up. As far as a theory, it makes sense, you know, physical sense of how that could work.
Well, allegedly ghosts are made of magnetic energy and all this. I mean, there's no really valid proof in that either. You know, that's just some TV shit, you know. EMF, electromagnetic fields. And, okay. Well, that's on TV, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know where exactly it came from, but I think where it comes from, whoever came up with that back in the day, I think it's because we give off EMF fields.
Right.
And electromagnetic fields is what makes our brains work and our muscles move and nerves work and all that stuff. So it would only make sense that if we go from this energy form to just a pure energy form, that would be EMF, I think is where that argument came from. And that's where we just got, now it's just, you know, the holy law of the land. It's you know, ghost or EMF, and we don't fucking know. But like EM and what not to get off of voice recorders and things, but EMF detectors were brought in the field to rule out EMF. They were never brought into the field to detect a ghost. I think that's also where the EMF shit comes from. It's a misnomer. Oh, with these K2s and these EMF meters, I can find where ghosts are. Well, no, you find where the EMF is.
Yeah, EMF fields, like they're all throughout the whole world. Like the Earth throws them off all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Christy, I think that's a big problem too. And even with digital, you can still have what's called ghosting. Funny enough, it's called in the industry. Even with digital, when you reformat a card, you can still have little chunks of data that remain, and you can get what looked like ghost in the video and sounds that weren't there. So it's probably even worse with digital recordings than with old tape recordings. But yeah, you can get tape artifacts too. I mean, that's why, like on your VCR, once you tape over something so many times, it gets blurrier and blurrier because it doesn't erase all of that magnetic residue.
I actually tested that theory a long time ago, probably, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago about, voices re-recording over your digital voice recorders and shit.
Yeah.
So new recorders and put them out, and I was capturing voices on brand new recorders, even the old magnetic tape decks too. Like I would switch out the tape because I'm thinking, man, this has got to be like bleeding over or something while these voices are coming. I was totally skeptic when I first started about shit, and I'm like, this has got to be some bullshit. So I'm like flipping tapes, checking new recorders, different recorders, cheaper recorders. I did all kinds of shit to try to debunk that stuff, and I can't debunk it because some of those voices I'm hearing out loud without headphones on, without a recorder, I'm hearing them disembodied, and I can't explain it. Like how the hell does this happen? There's no one here.
Back in the day of mixtapes, John, there's nothing that'll ruin your day like listening to Whitesnake and Guns N' Roses Bleeds Through.
Yeah. It will do that, dude. The old tape decks would do that, man. Right. Especially if you're making your own copies and shit. Like,
recording, waiting on that song to come on the radio so you can hit record. You wait for like 3 hours and you fucking miss it because you had to go piss or something.
You're like, finally, shit. I missed halfway through it.
Yeah. I think the ghosting nowadays with the digital stuff, I think it more so happens with if you're using a memory card, right? Because they're just so cheaply made and they're flimsy. And I think if you're using something like your cell phone, which is typically a now more solid state memory, it's a little fucking hard drive in there, like in your computer. It's not as, you don't get that artifact as much as you used to. But even like even when I was in high school, I was in TV production class, and we used digital tapes. And even the digital tape, you get artifact, and it's recorded completely differently onto the actual magnetic tape than the old VHS stuff. And so so it would only make sense that even with digital technology in the solid state drives and shit and all that we would get artifact. Even if you're saving shit to a cloud, why couldn't there be little bits of data, what I'm saying, that you re-download or whatever, or replace with your shit when you replay it when it comes back to your phone or your device. So yeah, you just got to be careful, and that's why we're talking about, with EVP stuff, direct voices that are answering your questions. When you ask for a name, you get a direct name, things like that. I think being skeptical and staying on top of your evidence like that, and not just believing everything, I think will weed out if you have any kind of artifact or anything.
Yeah.
Come on. What the hell?
Uh-oh.
Lost Eric.
Yeah.
You got bumped
out. What happened there? The host got kicked.
We're still recording though.
It's still live. So we can do whatever we want now.
Yeah, you fucked up, Eric. We're live. We're taking over, baby.
That's right.
But I think it's important to to validate shit. Like not everything is paranormal. You know what I mean? Like when people go into places and they automatically think it's haunted, now you're perceiving that there's something there. You know what I mean? You're already putting this psychosis into your head and other people.
What the hell?
It's haunted. I don't know, man. Your room's haunted.
Yep.
I just got booted for giving away secrets, I guess.
Damn. Amy Bruni came in.
Yeah.
Make fun of my cookbook, you son of a bitch. All right. Well, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
All right. He comes back just to leave us again.
Yeah, he does. He ghosted us again. There we went. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important, man. You know, like I even did it. I was telling somebody that I did a test with some of my own members. We were in a place, and I said, I want to see how they're gonna react. So we're in this room, and I'm like, man, I mean, it's heavy in here. There's something negative in here, right? I'm just fucking with them. You know, I just want to see what they're gonna say, how they're gonna react. As an investigator, exactly. I mean, you can't go off of what someone else is saying. You got to experience the phenomenon yourself. So I start doing it, and then they all start leading right into it. There is something that's really bad, and I'm like, I knew it. I knew they would do that. You know what I mean? Because I'm leading them into. I'm the founder of the group, so I'm leading them into thinking there's something here, and they automatically thought there's something there. And then we went outside, and I was like, "There's nothing there." They're like, "Well, I was just seeing how you will react to me acting that way, and you reacted exactly how I thought you would." I said, "You got to take a logical approach to this when you're coming into a person's home. I mean, this shit is serious. You can't." To me, you know, it's serious. You know, this shit is serious.
Oh, absolutely.
These are people's lives. You have children that are involved. This isn't a fucking game to me.
Right.
We need answers. We're here for that. We're here to find and give these people some kind of validation of what they're experiencing. Now, do we have a remedy to get rid of this shit? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't care who out there is saying there's a remedy to get rid of this shit. There's not. Because there's always the possibility of maybe you did something, maybe it did go away. There's that possibility. It's going to come back. There are no explanations. You know what I mean? There are no remedies. There are no cures. How can you give a cure to something that we don't understand?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I've always tried to preach to people. And it goes in one ear, right out the other one, down the hallway, and gets into the trash can. You know, I'm just like, dude.
Yeah.
There are no remedies to this. There are no cures. You know, like, I mean, you hear people, there's a lot of paranormal groups out there that are doing it, going into people's homes and saying they can get rid of shit, and they're totally misleading people, and it's dangerous, dude. You know? Yeah, I'm going to bless you when we go to Fort Mifflin with the oven mitts, Kristen.
Oh, Lord.
That could be the remedy.
I'm bringing the oven mitts. Handbell's coming, too. So
only $25 for a handy.
It was just $1. It went up. Inflation, I guess.
Dollar rubbing tugs and the splinters are free, baby.
Oh, well. Make sure you bring your Murphy's Mineral Oil.
Yeah.
This is an old with a good time. Christian from Hexes and Hoes. I love her. I love her page. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny shit.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
So what's some of the best EVPs y'all have ever caught, or even heard voices with your own ears?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I've had some crazy ones over the years.
Fresh. I gotta go back to what was that place we were at? You already know what I'm talking about.
Brushy?
Yeah, Brushy.
Yeah.
That very first 2 minutes that we were in there.
Well, don't give it away. I'm only good for the first 2 minutes, Austin. So.
Yeah, true. On a good night.
We were in the prison.
Yeah. I mean, things happen.
Yeah. That was fucking crazy. I've never had that particular situation happen where, the Farnsworth or their goober pea soup. That's just going to be a thing from now on. I don't know why.
I'm going to make an AI generated picture of that goober pea soup.
Goober pea soup. Brushy, we were there. We had just started investigating one of the cell blocks, And Austin, and we're filming. We got this all on audio. It's on every fucking thing that we had recording. This shows up on it. And there was only one other guy with us, and that was our friend Lee. And me and Austin were off. Huh?
It was just you and me. This was the very first investigator. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about in the prison in general.
Okay.
It was me and you. We were off filming by ourselves, and there was only one other guy at the prison, and he was off filming with everybody, with all the ladies.
Right.
And so Austin says, to get, try to get him riled up without provoking, says, "There's no guards here tonight. Slam a door, yell, scream, do whatever you want." And about 2 minutes later, we hear this guttural, like primal guy scream from off in the distance, but it was loud enough that it echoed through the cell block. And we caught it on every recorder we had going. Both of our cameras, even our fucking lavalier mics that we had on, we caught this primal guttural scream. And like I said, the only other guy that was there was Lee. Mm-hmm. And not to say anything bad about Lee, but I don't think he could make his voice that deep and guttural and scream like that if he wanted to. No. And also, they wouldn't have fucked with us like that. They were off investigating on their own on the other side of prison. So that was pretty crazy that we heard with our own ears, and we were both like, "What the fuck?" We looked at each other like, "What the hell?" And also,
and the fact that it interacted with the environment, the fact that because it echoed like our voices and everything else, that was crazy. Like that was loud enough to echo like that, and the fact that it echoed like it should have if it was a person screaming, down that hallway.
Yeah, and it sounded like it come from outside the cell block. Nobody else heard it but me and Austin. We went and asked the people running it. They were sitting in the office, kind of in between us and the other teams, and nobody else heard it but us. But we got it on. Yeah, it's recorded on like 5 or 6 different fucking audio devices.
Yeah,
which I've never had happen before. Because a lot of times, even if you hear it, it'll just record on one device or something. You've got
if you're lucky,
yeah, you may not get it on your camera audio, but you got it on voice recorder, maybe on your camera audio, but not on the voice recorder, one or the other. Maybe on the voice recorder, not the camera audio. One of the craziest ones I ever got that I found interesting was at Rosemont in Gallatin, Tennessee. They're a thoroughbred racehorse farm, and we actually caught a horse whinny on EVP.
Before I've caught that,
and nowadays, this was a 600-acre racehorse farm back in the 1800s, back during the Civil War, and the walls are 3 foot thick brick, and it's in the middle of town now. There's not a horse within 10 miles of that place. Yeah, and it's loud and clear. It's a horse fucking whinny. It's pretty crazy.
I heard the same thing, dude. I was doing a bookstore and a haunted used bookstore called the York Emporium, and I never heard shit the whole night. We had things happen, but I didn't hear any horses or anything. But I'm playing a recorder back, and I hear a horse weaning like, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Where did a horse come? We're in the middle of the city. There's no horses anywhere, right? And I'm like, I sent it to the owner of the store. I was like, man, there's like a horse weaning in this thing. Like, I'm not understanding where this came from. And he goes, holy shit. I was like, what? He goes, that used to be in the back of there, used to be a horse stable back in the 1800s. I'm like, holy shit, because the Confederates and shit came through York, Pennsylvania. They came through there and actually took the city over until they went up into Gettysburg and shit. I think General Ewell and all them were in York, in that area right there. And it was a revolutionary prison there and everything. There was a lot of shit there, hospitals, and there was a whole lot of shit in York. Like all Pennsylvania from here to Gettysburg is entrenched Civil War shit. And pretty interesting. But I think the best one I ever caught was the whistling at Landon House. That was fucking incredible. Like everybody heard it. There was multiple people there, and everyone heard it. They only whistled this one tune, which is it's amazing. And I recorded the whole thing, and it happens several different times throughout the night. And it would only whistle this one tune. It wouldn't whistle anything else. It was this one tune that it liked, and I whistled so many different tunes to see if it was an echo. Or when it first happened, I thought it was an echo. I was like, this has got to be an echo. There's no way. Like I whistled. What was weird was the night that I initially caught it, I couldn't make it out. I was whistling Dixie because it was like a Confederate stronghold, birth from the Battle of Antietam, bloodiest day in American history, right? The Confederate soldiers occupied this house right before the battle. And I used to walk through Whistle and Dixie, and one night I'm walking through. It's like 3 a.m. of Whistle and Dixie, and dude, I hear a whistle come back from the other end of the mansion. I'm like, holy shit, somebody's in here. So I'm like walking through the house, clicking all the lights on, no one there. But I had a recorder going down there because I would put static recorders out, you know. And when I got home, I played it, and I'm like, holy shit, I got this tune. There's this tune. Like, it was like, that was the tune, the exact tune, right? So I go back, I'm going to whistle that, see what happens. So I'm not shitting you. I go to the 3rd floor. I thought, I'm going to whistle that tune, fucking around. So I whistle it. Sure enough, dude, it comes right back. I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's in the next room, you know, like one room over, I can hear it. It's in there, right? I'm like, oh my God, there's got to be somebody here fucking with me. So I go in there, there's no one. And multiple people heard it, you know, and they're like, there's someone in there? I'm like, there's no one here, dude. Right. So then we go downstairs. Yeah. I whistle it downstairs, and it's still upstairs. And then everybody's waiting to go to the bathroom. You know, we're lined up kind of like kids in school to take a piss. And I said, fuck it, I'm just going to whistle it. I whistle it, dude, and off to my right on the landing, it comes right back. And I'm like, oh. I mean, in the recording, you hear me go, oh, holy shit, dude. And there was like 2 people sitting there like, oh my God, because they heard it too, you know, and they're like, holy shit, it was right there. It was fucking amazing. All of a sudden, man.
No one had to go to the bathroom anymore.
Yeah, dude, it was like everybody. I whistled that tune until my mouth was fucking dry. Like, and trying to hear it again, dude. Like, I was like, I'm so thirsty, dude. But, but it was so cool, dude. So
Next
cool.
day, your lips are just stuck.
Oh, dude, I was like chewing on, like I had sand in my mouth. I'm like, God damn, I'm thirsty as shit.
Chrissy said they caught what sounded like an earthquake without anything shaking. So like a rumbling sound, I guess, huh? That's interesting.
I actually just caught that last weekend. Don't know what it is.
I wonder if it's like an infrasound kind of thing.
Yeah.
Could be, because I thought it was at the time one of the volunteers was still here, and I thought like, oh, maybe that was the toilet flushing, and they're like, no, we didn't use the bathroom, so we went through and flushed all the toilets and did everything we could, and I can't explain it, but it sounds like the wall shaking. It's weird, out of nowhere. Okay, don't even. No. You are not investigating with Eric.
That is not
investigating with Eric.
No, look, there is a video from my first time at Brushy that I put up making fun of myself on my YouTube that you can go look up. And it starts out real serious, you know, and I did a voiceover with it, but yeah, it's pretty funny. Big shitty and little shitty. This is the one I meant to click on, but then she typed that next one. It popped up. I clicked on that one. That's another interesting phenomenon with EVPs is hearing your own voice. Had you ever been to that place before, Kristen? Or was that your first time there? Because I think if you've been to that
it was
location
just her
before,
talking.
If you've been to that place before, and maybe we're leaving our own impression on the environment. You know what I'm saying? That when we come back, we're hearing our own voice, saying names and things. I find that interesting. She said things shaking and banging by sound, but not in person.
Yeah,
happened twice. Yeah, that's an interesting phenomenon. I find the whole doppelganger thing interesting, whether it's audio or visual. Those stories are pretty interesting to come face to face with yourself. Yeah, that's how do you explain that? Like, because
demonic.
Yeah, you're right.
It's gonna be demons.
Better get the dog off the mitts.
It's demonic. Everything's demonic.
I got you, Evan Mitts.
It's demonic, dude. It's demonic, I swear.
Oh, that's crazy. Voice projected from her home near Harrisburg to Hillview Manor above Pittsburgh. We're watching them do it live. Huh.
I remember I heard that voice too. She let me hear that, I think.
Yeah.
I think somebody recorded that, I think.
Well, also, I mean, what do you think about, you know, not talking about anything fucking demonic or anything like that, but like mimics with the spirits, you know, like the jokester, tricksters. I mean, if they can manipulate sound waves like we were talking about to make them have a voice,
right?
Why couldn't they change it? You know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sound waves can be manipulated.
Yeah.
But how do they manipulate it? That's the thing.
I don't know.
How the hell are they doing it? You know?
Yeah. I've had lots of interesting EVPs, and I've heard lots of interesting things too.
Me too.
Because I think there's residual sounds as well, especially when it comes to battlefields and things. The battlefield here in Franklin, I've heard horses galloping. There ain't no fucking horses around. You're in the middle of the city now. But I've also heard like cannon shot, gunfire, that type stuff. And there's none of that going on where I was at in the middle of Franklin, Tennessee. I mean, that's where all the rich people live. There's not really a ghetto in Franklin where you hear gunshots or even backfires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting. I've heard whistling as well a couple times. At the Thomas house, there's a famous whistling ghost there that people hear all the time. And I've heard it a couple times.
Commodore.
Yeah. When we investigated the Commodore, we heard whistling as well. And I believe that's in the video, isn't it, Austin? Strangely Haunted.
Yeah.
I think that people don't. The thing is, people don't talk about audio as much as they do video. Like especially with pareidolia, like we were talking about earlier, and the mimics, and even with audio being residual versus intelligent too. Most people, they just, if you think about it, most teams will just say, "Well, it was intelligent," you know. But why wouldn't it be residual? You know, I've heard plenty of footsteps, but I'm sure we're residual. I mean, me and Austin investigating together, we've heard conversations with sound like a man and a woman talking that had nothing to do with us. And I've heard that many times, you know, and it's just, it seems like it's more, they don't give a shit if you're there or not. It's going to happen. You know, it's just a residual thing. But people don't talk about residual sounds as much. You know, my whole thing is like, if grandpa comes into this old farmhouse for 80 years, the man walked through the door at a certain time every day, went upstairs to change, come back down for dinner, and he did that every day. You know, why couldn't that record on the environment? It doesn't mean grandpa's haunting you. It just means he did that every day and it's somehow imprinted on the environment.
I've heard whistling in Gettysburg too, in Triangle Field.
Yeah, Gettysburg. I mean, Gettysburg's got everything you can think of. I mean, because so many people died there and shit. And I'm sure it's not just Gettysburg. I'm sure, like you were talking about Antietam and like even the Battle of Franklin, you know, you get a lot of that same phenomenon, ghost soldiers and all kind of stuff.
I actually recorded a battle one time when we were there at Sachs Bridge. We were at Sachs Bridge. We were at the Metal Bridge. And it was like 3 a.m. You didn't hear shit. It was just bugs, you know, summertime. We didn't hear anything. But dude, we played the recording back and you hear men shouting, you hear gunfire, cannon fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Where was that? It's 3 a.m. You hear like musket fire, like a volley of musket fire, like then you hear boom. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, we didn't hear any of that. And then you hear men shout. You almost hear men. It sounds like what a man shouting, saying, "Get the guns." It's like, "Get the guns," and then you hear boom, 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 like a volley of fire.
Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because that's how you made it sound there.
Yeah. Got the guns.
Get to the chopper.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Get to the chopper. You ugly motherfucker.
Phantom lights is another interesting phenomenon. I actually saw one of those not long ago at the Night House, the house that we just bought, out back behind the house. I was sitting on the side porch where the big white columns are at about, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I saw what looked like a big flame off of a lantern. It was too big to be a candle, but it was orange and red and looked like a flame, and it was probably about 50 feet from me. And I watched it go from behind this tree. It appeared and went about 20 feet through my field of vision, just disappeared. Wow. But it looked like a lantern flame. It's pretty interesting. We've got all kinds of shit happen in the Night House.
Yeah, I seen one pretty big one time too. It got the size of a fucking basketball. I was like, what the fuck? You know, if there wouldn't have been other people there with me, I would have swore I was hallucinating. Yeah, and they seen it first, right? It was small. It was maybe about the size of a hardball, and it was at the Landon house in the middle of the hallway at the other end, where the 3rd floor was crazy active, and one of the people that I'm taking them through the tour of the house is like, "What's that light down there?" And I'm like, "What light?" And I like peep around the corner and I see it. It's right in the middle of the hallway, right? And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, and I'm kind of like have my hands on my knees and I'm stooped down looking, and I'm like, and I stand up, and when I stand up, dude, it just goes, it gets like the size of a basketball. I'm like, holy shit! And then it went like someone turned a flashlight on and then turned it off.
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody's fucking with me, dude. So I like go down there, and they're like, "What was that?" The people who are with me are freaking out. They're like, "Holy shit!" Because they're like non-believers. So I go there and I'm like searching the fucking rooms. There's nothing there. I'm like, I don't know what that was, but I can't explain what that was. It was some kind of light phenomena that I've never seen ever before and ever again. Never seen it again anywhere. It was strange.
The wildest one I saw was at Waverly Hills. We were on the 3rd floor, and one of the rooms just completely lit up, like brighter than like I can't explain it. And we're like, "What the heck is that?" So we go towards the room, and like up on the 3rd floor, you have the walkway on both sides, and the rooms are in the center. And we literally followed this thing as it lit up each room, almost as if like someone was coming in, like turning on the lights at the the beginning of the day or something. I don't know what it was, but literally all the way down, we were at like the halfway point. So that whole wing, we followed it all the way down while it just lit up room after room after room. It was wild.
Yeah, another light phenomena that I've seen a few times is it looks like glitter in the dark. Sparks coming down like a sparkler, and it's real faint, but you'll see it. It's really weird, and I don't know what that comes from. I don't know. One place I saw it, and then later on somebody else saw a full body apparition come from that area and go across the room.
Here's what I can tell you about it, Eric, is it's electric magnetic too, because dude, we were doing a residential case, and we had a K2 sitting on the banister of the steps, and the little girl's jacket was hanging there on a hook. And when it happened, it was 3 of us that seen it. It was like this sparkle of lights, right? And the fucking K2 just spiked up. It got real loud. Like I put in the K2 that I had, I put a speaker in, like an alarm. And dude, it never is real loud, but when it happened, the speaker got real loud and the lights got real bright. And I was like, what the fuck? What, dude? We're like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, holy shit. And then it just spiked back down, and then that was it. We took EMF readings after that. No EMF readings. But whatever it was affected the K2 meter. I wish we would have had an EMF detector there too, but K2's EMF, but I wanted to see what it would read out digitally, but it spiked into the red, like all the way to the red. It was interesting, dude. I was like, holy shit, what was that? And I've never ever seen that again.
Yeah, I've seen that once and only once.
Yep, one time, dude.
Yeah,
along with a foul smell.
I've seen it twice at 2 different locations, but to me, it just reminded me of like maybe a static charge letting off. Which if it was in the wintertime, I could understand that more.
Yeah,
because in the summer when it's humid, you don't shock yourself on the doorknob. Yeah, you go across the carpet. In the wintertime, with everything dry, it charges up easily. And the first time I saw it was in the summer, and when and I'm in Tennessee, so it's humid as fuck. Yeah. And so I don't know, but it's just a weird phenomenon that it's interesting. It's one of those things that you think I've never heard anybody else talk about that. I'm the only person that's seen that, but then other people have experienced it too. But yeah, interesting.
Is it paranormal? I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of shit happen in that house, so I'm guaranteed it was probably paranormal.
Yeah,
it definitely ain't normal to see.
right.
It definitely isn't normal to see that kind of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Looked like sparklers or something. It was weird.
Yeah.
And it actually made a noise too. Like we heard a noise, like a static noise. Like like, what the fuck? What the hell was that? It was interesting.
Christie's over here with Tinkerbell at fucking Waverly Hills. Hey, there are plenty of people that believe in fairies. So
that's true.
I've seen a few fairies in my day.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
Austin, you're just slowly fading out as the light goes.
I know. My died in like 2 minutes. The thing is fully charged, and I was like, "Yeah, we're just not."
You're in the you're in the paranormal witness protection program, dude.
Yep.
We'll just call you the voice.
There you
go. Here at the Night House, I've actually caught some weird audio phenomena on the cameras. I have the cameras set up that they go off. We have cameras all throughout the house, and I have them set off for motion and sound. And of course, it'll go off sirens or there's a train that's close by with the horn that honks, and because we're close to town. But I've had some interesting stuff. I put one video up online. I think I played it last live stream I did too. Sounds like furniture moving, which is weird because nothing's moved in the house and there's no reason for that. And it's very loud. And then it sounds like somebody walking away. And the other night I sent Austin a video where the audio went off and it sounds like a fucking parrot whistling and screeching. And I didn't even remember this until Austin reminded me, but somebody had messaged me who's been to the Night House when the Rogers family owned it and said that they actually had some sort of parrot, a cockatoo or something. So that's interesting.
You got one of those too.
A cockatoo. What's up? What's up? Yeah, you know what happens. At least you made it. You know, in here you're a little late, but whatever. But yeah, just all. And I've heard a lady's voice. We heard a lady's voice that actually echoed from the parlor. Me and my husband were putting a bed together in the. There you go. Look, don't bring sweet baby Jesus into this, okay? Don't get me started on religion. But we were putting a bed together in the master bedroom downstairs. Numbing his pottery spiritual Sunday. And we heard a woman, she said 5 or 6 words, and it echoed in the parlor upstairs, one level up from us, and we just looked at each other. And but like even my in-laws have heard like conversations between a man and a woman when nobody else is in the house, and they're in the house by themselves. So, right, when y'all coming down to the Night House?
Soon, hopefully.
Yeah, all kind of weird stuff going on. They've been showing out for sure. But
yeah, I've had some interesting shit happen with static in the recorders too. Very interesting shit, man. Like they definitely use static 100%. I've had it in a couple of cases where I felt like I was getting touched by something. Like, I don't know, it felt like a static charge on my arm. And then the recorder got affected by the static, and I heard a voice within the static, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, holy shit. And I was like, did you guys hear a voice? And they're like, no. And a lot of times when I hear shit, they're standing right next to me and they don't hear anything because, like once we said before, you know, it's coming in on a hertz level that we can't hear. So I'm hearing it because I'm plugged in live, you know, into the recorder, but they're not hearing it. And I'm like, dude, all the fuck it just said, like in the last case where I heard the turn it off, right? Like, right. I mean, I heard it sound like the ghost was sitting on my lap. You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit. I was like, dude, did you hear that voice? And they're like, we didn't hear anything. I'm like, and they're only 2-3 feet away from me, and they heard nothing. But
I mean, you were doing a live EVP?
Yeah, I was live EVPing. It's live EVPing. I'll do that. Live EVPing. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
my husband is not into the paranormal. He couldn't give a shit less about it. He's living with me for 20 years now. He's just kind of used to it because our house is fucking haunted because shit's followed me home, and then we have transient spirits that come in. But nothing nasty's ever followed me home. But also I have my parents are both dead, and they'll pop in every once in a while. My mom does some funny shit sometimes. Last year she threw a piece of candy corn at me out of nowhere. I mean, this candy corn came out of nowhere. I'm diabetic. I don't eat candy corn. Roger, my husband, doesn't eat candy corn. We don't have candy in the house. And I get hit in the back, and I heard something bounce on the floor in the kitchen. And I was like, where in the fuck? And we have 8 dogs, so there's no food surviving on the floor.
Yeah,
and I'm
no
like,
way.
where the fuck did this candy corn come from? So I hollered at him, and he was in the bedroom. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But my mom loves candy corn, and she loves
There it
Halloween.
is, dude.
So,
That's crazy, dude.
yeah.
Hey, have
But
you ever been? I have one question. Have you guys ever been in an investigation where people were finding like dimes or pennies, like fucking everywhere?
yeah,
That's
I've
crazy,
heard of that
dude.
a lot. Yeah,
I was in a case where they were finding dimes everywhere. They would clean them up, and the next day there'd be more fucking dimes everywhere. Where in the hell are dimes coming from, dude?
I've heard stories of people being in like Walmart and have a dime or a coin come flying over like one of the shelves and land on the floor. Excuse me. And whatever the date on it was a significant date for that person.
Right.
No shit.
Like, yeah, true story. Just out of fucking nowhere, they'll hear like a coin hit the floor, and they're on the aisle by themselves, and they'll pick it up and it'll be like 1976, which would be like their birth year or like the year their granny died or something. You know, some significant year.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. And I think that's pretty interesting. Miranda Young, the ghost biker, she finds feathers everywhere, like bird feathers.
Weird, it's totally weird.
And she just takes it as a sign from one of her deceased loved ones that she just finds feathers. You know.
Yeah. My wife thinks that this cardinal. Every time she sees a cardinal, she thinks it's a loved one or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're like driving down the road and I fucking thump one. I'm like, there went another loved one. Motherfucker's dead. He gone now. I'm like, fucking cardinal for what? I was like, there went a dead one. She was one of the family members this guy hit.
Sent that one right to hell.
She's like, you are a fucking jerk. You know that, right? I'm like, I can't help it. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, Kristen. Hell with pennies from heaven. Throw me $100 bills.
Fuck yeah.
Like a stripper on Friday night.
Yeah. Yep. Swing them on the booby tassels. I'm good.
I had that conversation with one of my guests on the show one day, and I was like, she lives in California. And I was like, you don't have cardinals in California, do you? She's like, no. I said, so that's like a fucking Eastern United States thing. Like, if you saw a cardinal in fucking California, then go ahead and believe that's one of your relatives. But if I see a cardinal outside of my house, them fuckers are everywhere.
Yeah.
So why is that automatically a loved one? Like, if you go to Mexico and see a fucking cardinal, that might be your loved one,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But not where they're everywhere on the Eastern United States,
right.
The east of the Mississippi, they're fucking everywhere.
Speaking of the Cardinals, the last case me and Carl were going up to, I fucking hit a Cardinal. I was like, dude, I want another fucking dead loved one. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's up with the Cardinals? I'm hitting the shit out of them. And Carl's like, we call him the exorcist, right? Because I don't give a fuck what haunted house he goes into. There's nothing going on when he's there, right? So he's like, you think that was a dead person you hit? I was like, if they ain't dead, they're fucking dead now.
The paranormal, I call them paranormal coolers. Because in Las Vegas, they'll have those people that have bad luck go sit beside people that win a lot of money. They call them coolers.
Yep.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
And so I call them paranormal coolers because they could, kill the paranormal. I don't care. It could be, you could have ghosts right in front of your face and they walk in the room and shit and everything's done the rest of the night.
Yeah. I mean, I did hear some voices when he was there, but then it just fucking died off, And I'm like, and he's like, man, fucking ghosts could be having a party in the next room and I wouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
Carl's like,
you gotta open your mind up, Carl. Gotta open your mind, expand your mind, sir.
Carl's like his personality, like he's cool as shit, but his personality is like a wet mop. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, Carl, see that fucking ghost? Yeah, I've seen it. I'm like, he doesn't even get overly excited about it. He's like, you see that shit? Yeah, I've seen it. Whatever.
The Eeyore of the paranormal.
Dude, he's a strip, man. He's cool as shit, but he's funny though.
Oh Lord.
Wop.
Damn. We went from boobies to WAP.
Moving up in the world. All right.
Wop.
Oh, look, I've never had to have moderators before. Y'all don't make me have to have moderators on my live stream. Only
Kristen.
Well, I don't care what you say, but YouTube is a bitch. So they frown upon certain things.
Yeah, it's true. But at least our account isn't getting banned.
Well, there are certain people that would like to see us shut down. So if they happen to pop in,
they
could report us.
No one here has any enemies, especially not John.
Right.
Fucker.
Oh, shit.
Handbell of grease. Dude, they went to Penhurst last year. I couldn't make it, right? Because it's always on my wife's birthday weekend for that Paracon. And it's like people were coming up to the table going, where's fucking Handbell at? She's still making an appearance next year.
Need to run out of booth.
Yeah, man, I'm running out free hand jobs with it,
Hell, we done gone from $1 to 25 back to $1 now. Now they're fucking free.
Just give them out free. Fuck it.
I'm on my way.
Don't laugh, don't laugh, Eric. I'm bringing her to this fucking night. Tucking her in, baby.
Well, pictures didn't happen.
Oh, shit.
Hand jobs are out of this world.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You got to watch out when you orgasm. You might open a portal.
Ectoplasma.
Right, I got my own ectoplasm.
Right.
Oh, shit. This is great. I love it.
Oh, Lordy.
So what are you shooting there tonight? You filming there tonight, Austin?
Yeah, probably a little bit later tonight. Probably do a little bit of filming.
You pulling an all-nighter there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You already know it. So, I've filmed here once or twice. But why not again?
Yeah. I'm waiting for a disembodied voice to come down the hallway. Get the fuck out.
Man, I'm telling you. I picked this hallway because back there is the door where I saw the apparition walk out of.
Really? At the end of the hallway?
Yeah. So I was standing right here actually, and they were giving a tour, and they were inside this room to my left, and I was just hanging out outside this hallway, and I watched as a man walks out of a room back there, and then walks down the hall, and I see out of the corner of my eyes, I'm like, okay, that's crazy, but it could have been one of the owners because they were here working. I was like, it's probably one of them. I don't know why they're up here, but it's probably one of them. So I just start focusing down the hallway, and I see it a second time dead on. And I'm like, okay, I saw this thing twice in probably about 20 to 30 seconds. Now I know that I'm mentally not okay. Like, you don't see this once, let alone twice that quickly.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going crazy. So one of the other volunteers came up a few seconds later, and she had taken down one of the group members, or the people who were in the tour, to go to the bathroom. They didn't want to go by themselves, so she escorted them down there. She escorted them back up. She stands over here next to me, and I see it again. She turns to me. She was like, "Did you just see that man walk out of that room?" And I was like, "Shut up." And she's like, "No, I'm serious. Like, that's the third time I've seen this in under a minute." So we took off down the hall. We searched all the rooms, didn't find anyone, nothing. But it was nuts, man. It was nuts.
Haunted by boobies at the Bunny Ranch, huh?
I wish. Where do I sign up for that?
Oh, shit.
Austin, you're the type of person, like that saying goes, it could be raining boobies, you get hit in the head with a dick.
Yep.
Kind of your luck.
Yep, that's my luck, 100%. 100%.
That's great.
It's also, yeah.
The other night he was telling me about seeing the guy down the hallway and how he just kind of nonchalantly said to his girlfriend, I just saw a guy walking down the hallway. And then I was talking about something else and he just started laughing. And I was like, what are you laughing at? He said, how we're just fucking talking about this shit like it's nothing. Like it's just like it's a normal conversation, that we're not crazy and we're talking about this crazy shit,
Yeah.
So
insane, dude. We gotta do an EVP night, man. Play some of our best EVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to dig some up. I I think I do have that video on here.
I got a shit ton.
I've got the strange noises from the night house on here on that I can play right now.
Yeah, I heard they were definitely cool. It's like shit moving around.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds long. I'll play it just for anybody that hasn't. So nobody was at the house when this happened. This is at 12:30 at night. We weren't there.
That's loud.
Yeah. That camera's on a mantle, on a fireplace mantle. So yeah, I can't explain it. I don't know what it was. Christy, I ran into a full body apparition once and apologized for the inconvenience. That would be me and Austin too. And probably John.
Sorry about that.
They like to fuck with John in the bathroom. With sweet nothings in his ears.
Fucking twice, dude.
He's offering free handies, so I mean, I would too.
Handbell's offering free handy.
And John said, "Don't put me into this.
Don't put me in it, dude. I ain't greasing my palms up for nobody." Shit. But yeah, dude, it happened. That happened to me in a case I did. And when I was with Brandon, it happened. I got locked in the fucking bathroom. I'm taking a piss, right? Dude, I'm taking a piss. I got the recorder outside the door, right? I got my back to the door. First time I'm ever in this place. Taking a leak. And dude, I mean, you in the recorder, you hear me pissing in the water, right? And then you hear the door, you hear the knob go click and it locks. But the door is to my back, right? So I get done and I turn around, wash my hands, and I go to leave out and the door's locked. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm like, I don't even know how the door locks. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, man, I'm like shaking the door. I'm ready to yell at Brandon, hey, dude, what the fuck you doing? Right? And I'm like, I start kicking this door, right? And then I'm like, look on the top and I see this little lever and I click it and I'm like, I said, I didn't lock this fucking door. I don't even know where the lock's at. You know what I mean? So when I go out, I was like, I thought you were fucking with me. I was like, it was locked in the. And then I think after that, someone else that got locked in the bathroom too. So
yeah, they had that happen here. But the thing is the bathroom here is one of those old locks where like you put the little, like you see at hotels, you know what I'm talking about, where you got to put the little chain piece in there.
Yeah.
But that won't be locks. They just get trapped in the bathroom. People have had to climb out of the window.
Holy shit.
Like you just, you're stuck.
Like somebody's fucking holding the door or something, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, we'll be standing outside the door. Like, you know.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's weird. That's totally weird. Especially if the knob's working and shit. Like, yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a door do that. I was going to shut the door and I was pulling it real easy and the fucking door just went boom and shut him real quick. And I thought my buddy on the outside did it. So I went to turn a knob and I couldn't turn a knob, right? And this guy's just a little skinny fucker, you know, and I'm like grabbing a knob. I'm like, God damn, he's a strong little fucker. And I looked out the little window, right? I'm like, I look out the window and he's not there. I'm like, holy shit. Right. I let go of the knob, right? I'm like, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? You know, and I'm like, I go get somebody else real quick. I'm like, hey, come here. I'll just see if we can open that door. Dude, they opened the door right up. I'm like, holy shit. Like something was holding the knob. Because Don weighs about $105 wet, you know, and I'm thinking he's holding a knob. I'm like, God damn, he's a strong little bitch, you know. I'm like, I couldn't turn it. I'm like, I look at the window, he ain't even there. I'm like, oh shit, dude, like what the hell is that? You know, it was interesting.
Yeah,
definitely holding it.
Yeah, Christy. Most of the time, it's when I get scared on a location and I scare myself, or when me and Austin were at the Commodore, it was like I don't know, trifecta of loud noises all at once when we were asking for something to knock. And it was the loud ass heater turned on and the ice maker in this cafe dropped all at the same time. And I was like, I think I peed a little. But and fucking at Octagon Hall, they have creepy dolls in like the medical room that have, when I was up there investigating, I turned the corner and scared the shit out of me because they got weird faces and shit. And then at the night house, the bathroom downstairs, there's two doors. that go to the bathroom, one from the foyer, and then one goes from the bedroom. Well, there's a full-length fucking mirror on the back of the bedroom door. Shit's getting thrown at me. Full-length mirror on the back of the door. And so when you walk in from the foyer in the dark, it looks like somebody's walking right beside you. I'm like, what the fuck? And I scared myself. That mirror's got to go. Because I was especially in the middle of the night, you go there and take a piss. And you're like, what the fuck? It's too late for that shit.
I've had that happen before. A guy had a fucking cardboard cutout in the closet, dude. I opened the fucking closet, like, fuck! This scared the shit out of me, dude. It was one of those Chippendales, too. I was like, oh, I opened it back up.
Scared it horny.
I opened that door, there's a fucking Chippendale dancer standing there with a full cardboard cutout. I'm like, fuck! I was laughing. I opened the door back up. I was like, you fucker! You hit the
Yeah, them Octagon Hall dolls are weird. They're weird looking mannequins, and I don't like the mannequins in the dark anyway because they're just creepy. But yeah, I know. And going in there in the middle of the night and seeing movement in the mirror is just weird because I always feel the mirrors there. But
that could be demonic.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that could be demonic if you pee yourself too.
Right. Yeah, true. I didn't do it. The demon did.
Yeah, demon pissed my pants. Who did it? The demon? I swear to God, he did it.
Robin Williams made a joke that when he was an alcoholic, he woke up one morning and was like, "Who shit my pants?" Because he was so drunk the night before.
Oh, that's good.
Oh shit. I had cousins that were like that when we were kids. They would piss themselves. My aunt would be like, Who pissed in their bed? Who pissed in the bed?" He would pee in bed all the time. He would go, "He did it." I was like, "You fucking liar, you pissed all over me." You wake up, your whole leg be wet. You're like, "Why is the bed wet? Man, you done pissed in bed, dude."
What do you mean? All right, Christy, I got to know. What do you mean by Peter Dinklage? I know he's a little person, but
You scared by Peter Dinklage.
Oh man!
Oh shit!
Kristen
knows. I think Kristen knows that one.
The best damn jump scares is when you go in some place, you have a fucking bat fly at you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or a bird, you disturb a fucking
Just
bird.
had that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got me like that at fuck was I at? God damn, I can't remember the name of that mansion I was in, but I'm sitting there, right? I'm like hearing this by my ears and shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck is that noise, dude? Like, what is that? I'm hearing shit. They're down there laughing because they can see on the IR it's fucking bats in the room, and they're all flying around my head and shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm hearing all kinds of shit in here. And they're like, yeah, they're bats. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Let me get out of here, dude. I don't fuck with bats, man.
The first time I went to Brushy Mountain last November, and I don't know if this was because it was wintertime and they were roosting in the D block, which is a separate building that was segregation. But we had bats fly at us, and I was expecting when we went this summer, me and Austin, but we never saw any bats.
Really? Oh no, we did. Lee about cracked himself. Lee had
I never saw
right in his face.
Oh, I never. Well, y'all were walking in front of me, I guess. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you had to go back to get some batteries or something.
Yeah. But I know we went in that same building in the wintertime and had them flying at us, and Caleb was screaming like a little girl. So was my cousin Brian. And I'm like, it's a fucking bat.
I'm surprised they're flying around there in the wintertime.
Well, they were roosting in the building, and it was warmer in the building because the building's closed up, and there's no heater, electricity in there. But I guess because it was warmer in November in there, and we disturbed them in their slumber. So, but they're screaming like little girls. I'm like, just stand. They're not going to run into you. They can see better in the dark than you can.
Yeah, they use sonar.
Yeah, but Christy said they got a cut out of him with a crossbow. Plays perfectly. Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
I get a friend who has a phobia of little people. She generally has a phobia. Like genuinely has a phobia of little people. And so I send her all these memes and shit. Anything with a little person.
Is that even a phobia? That's a phobia?
Yeah, that's
a thing. Yeah.
Really? Little people phobia?
Yeah.
You can't. They don't call them like what they used to call them like midgets back in the day. They don't call them that anymore.
Yeah, everything's offensive nowadays.
It's fidget. You heard that movie Time Bandits? You ever see that?
Yeah.
There's all the little people running around there and shit.
Yeah,
that was great.
I thought that was going somewhere else, and he just says, "Oh, that was
great." You remember all the little midgets running around there? But we might have the midget patrol on here, like getting mad at you or something. Everybody's got an angle to why they want to fucking call somebody out. You said something about midgets on your show. Like, sorry, the little people. God damn.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
All right, well, we've been going almost 2 hours. I guess it's about time we talk about all the shit that each of us has going on, and then let people get on with their night. Because for me, it's only 8 o'clock. For y'all, it's like 9 o'clock. So
9, yeah.
The fucking Lollipop Guild.
Lollipop Guild. Brandon left, I think so. Brandon was in the chat room. He's part of the Lollipop Guild. He was fucking weird about my forehead. He did some AI song about my forehead or something. I was like, fuck you little dick.
Wow.
You got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater or some shit. I was like, fuck you, dude.
I mean, where does it begin? Where does it end?
That's I know, right? It's like, way back, baby.
Where does it end?
I said, I'd rather just call me Mr. fucking Potato Head or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put the big lipstick on for you.
Oh man.
Shit, but I ain't got shit going on, man. Just like I said, I just do residential. So I got a couple of cases coming up in September. Other than that, dude, we don't have a whole lot going on, dude.
Well, hopefully for the end of the year, you come down to the night house.
Yeah, man, I'm hoping to get down there before the year is out. That's for sure. That's going to be cool. I can't wait.
Yeah. So, Austin, you got, like I got scrolling across the bottom, you got your new series, The Dead Chronicles, that you're filming now.
Yeah. You can go follow that on Facebook. Still working on that. Going to be working on me and Hannibal are going to do an OnlyFans. So that'll be coming soon.
I'm talking about.
John's like, I'm going to make some money.
I only want 10%. I want 10% for her.
10%. You got it. But yeah, go check out the Dead Chronicles and stay tuned.
Yeah. And at some point in time, I'm sure we'll be back with Strangely Haunted.
Yeah.
You can go watch those documentaries over on Strangely Haunted on YouTube. And we'll be back probably first of next year with that stuff. But we still have Brushy Mountain that we teased, and we even fucked with it. So.
Right.
So we got a Brushy Mountain video coming out, and we got plans on some other videos to do, and which will be long form documentaries with Strangely Haunted. So we both just got really busy with other things. With me buying a fucking historic 200-year-old house, and he's doing the Dead Chronicle stuff, and so. Also, we live 6 hours away from each other, so it's hard to get together and film all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, go follow Strangely Haunted on Facebook, follow the Dead Chronicles, follow Austin, follow John, follow Harrisburg Area Paranormal. I have the Unseen Paranormal Podcast. I've got the Night House. And the Night House, we're taking bookings now for September and October for spooky season. And you can do a half night, which is 7 to 3 for $500, or a full night from 7 till 9 a.m., which is 14-hour investigation, for $650, and that's taxes included. And we include a whole list of things. We have high-speed internet, we have heat and air, we have, if you spend the night, we have beds and everything to sleep in.
That's a plus.
Yeah,
you can even take a shower if you want, and we'll provide the towels and stuff. So we got 2 working bathrooms with full showers and things. So yeah, and the house is over 5,000 square feet, and we're on 3 acres, so it's a lot to investigate too. Yeah,
and the price is not bad. That's not bad, man. I've been in places that were fucking terrible and paid out the ass and froze your ass off, and it's great. You're got conditioned air. I mean, dude, that's a good deal. People should check it out.
Yeah, and it's the oldest house in Hopkinsville, the oldest house in Christian County, Kentucky. It's 200 years old, over 200 years old, built between 1850 and 1820. And we've owned it for going on 4 months, and we've had so much shit happen there. Just about every day that we're there, something happens, and then the camera's going off with the noises and the white mist that nobody can explain up in the guest suite. And 14 hours. I had some people bitching when I started posting with the prices. And I'm like, well, I mean, you'll pay $1,500 to go sit at Waverly Hills with no electricity. They don't even give you a fucking chair. We're going to have drinks and snacks and a microwave, refrigerator, all that shit available, So charging station, but the list is on the website. If anybody's interested, we have plenty of dates open, like I said, in September, October. But you need to book them now because I'm only doing every other weekend. So every other Friday, Saturday, because I'm not living up there every weekend. I have a life as well. But got some other cool stuff in the works up there in Hopkinsville too. Next Wednesday, they've got the Alien Invasion Day. If you ever heard of the Hopkinsville Goblin incident, they're celebrating that. And then next year, they're planning on doing a big convention for the 70th anniversary. And they'll have the surviving family members who were actually there when the incident happened and as speakers, and they want to do a whole kind of paranormal UFO convention around that. So that'll be really cool. Yeah. And Hopkinsville is a weird place. They even have a Facebook page called Keep Hopkinsville Weird. So
I like it.
Yeah. And also hopefully I'm working with the city for them to let me do public ghost hunts for anybody that doesn't have a team that wants to. I'm gonna charge like $25 to come for a 5-hour investigation. And you'll get to investigate with me and maybe even Austin if he wants to come down as a guest investigator and some other people. So
it's awesome.
Get the history lesson and all that stuff too. Also, if you just want to do a history tour, I got history tours for $10 a person on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That's on the website too. So that is my life right now. And as far as the Unseen Paranormal Podcast, for any of my people that listen out there, I'm taking a fucking break because I'm taking a break from social media. Especially with the podcast because it's so much advertising and constantly be on fucking social media. And so I may pop in and do some over the next month to do some live stream stuff like this. But I just need a break, a mental health break from the podcast and from social media, especially. I'll still be putting stuff up on the Night House, but I'm not on that social media as much. So it's just with the podcast, it's constant, but that's how I built it up too. So, but I just need to, fucking, especially with the fucking elections coming up, I just need a break before this bullshit happens. Just a lot going on. So, and I need to focus on the Night House. We've got to get some shit finished up there before we have the first team in September. So
it's awesome, man. Excited for you guys.
Yeah. It's a different beast to own your own location.
Sure. I've always wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to offer, we offer the whole list of things because I wanted to make sure people get their money's worth when they leave, whether it's a half night or a full night investigation, and say, we really got our money's worth with not just the location, but also the amenities. And I just thought of things over the years, me renting out locations of things they didn't offer that I wish they had, Some places don't even have fucking indoor plumbing. So, people don't think about shit like that. You pay for like Brushy Mountain, you can have up to 12 people, but you pay $1,750 and you got one little room that has electricity in it and, no refrigerator, nothing like that. No snacks. They don't provide anything. And if you got internet on your phone, that's how you have internet because they don't provide Wi-Fi or anything. There's no electricity in any of the buildings that you investigate, none of that. So, and there's no heating and air, nothing. So for $1,750. So I thought my prices aren't so bad. But
hell no.
Yeah. And Hopkinsville is not that far from Nashville. For anybody that doesn't know where Hopkinsville is, it's not far from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is where the 101st Airborne is, big Army base. But about 45 minutes from Nashville. So about 2 hours from Louisville, 2 hours from St. Louis, hour from Bowling Green. So not too far at all. Anyway, is there anything else I want to talk about tonight since I've spilled my shit?
No, dude.
No, I don't think so.
Well, anybody got any conventions coming up or anything for spooky season? Any special plans?
No, we got some things in the works, but nothing concrete yet. Doing some little Halloween events and shit like that for people. I think a historic place. Yeah, we investigated a historic place up in Lancaster, PA, and I think they want us to come and do a Halloween event or something like that with evidence we've caught there, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place. It's 300 or 400-year-old house. So
yeah,
it goes back to the Revolutionary War. Actually, one of George Washington generals owned the house. So.
Wow,
cool.
Yeah, pretty cool place.
Yeah, I like to do around Halloween in October. I like to stay local and do local things. Just that, yeah. It's just I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah. Local stuff. I don't know. I'm getting fucking old and don't want to travel anyway. So maybe once or twice a year I want to travel to go do some shit. But yeah. One of the other things, friend Damien popped into here not too long ago. Him and his crew, they do a podcast called Beer, Booze, and Boogeymen. And they are all traveling to the Night House in September, on September 28th. And they are offering perks with the Indiegogo account. I think, is it Indiegogo? Is that what it's called? Indiegogo. You can go on their Facebook page, and if you would like to donate, and they have different tiers, but you'll get to investigate with them at the Night House virtually, and tell them where you want them to go in the house and all that stuff on September 28th. So that's going to be cool because they're going to be doing the live investigation all night. And they're going to do a live podcast from the Night House before that. And they have, like I said, they have different tiers up there. And the money is to help. There's a couple of them. One of them is coming from like Washington State flying. So to help them with airfare. And then a couple others are coming from like North Carolina and shit. So help them with some travel expenses and things. And they're doing something. I think it's cool. You know, for $5 or $10, you can watch them investigate all night and interact with them and see the Night House and see somebody investigate the Night House. So I don't think it's too bad a deal what they're doing. I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know it's self-serving for me to say that because it's my fucking house, but
that's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool idea, and so I'm going to be excited to have them. So,
oh yeah.
All right. Well, like you said earlier, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to try to do this once a month on Wednesday, whatever Wednesday Austin is off. He's off 2 Wednesdays a month, so one of those we'll try to get together and do this, and we'll pick a different topic and different news stories every time. And at least once a month, just to have fun and talk about the paranormal.
Oh yeah, I'm all about
it. My face hurts from laughing so much. So
that's what it's all about, man.
I know. That's why we came up with this idea because the three of us, Austin wanted me and John to record something for one of his documentaries, and so we ended up talking for like 2 hours, but Austin only needed like 10 minutes of footage. And so we're like, why don't we just fucking do this live for everybody else?
Yeah, dude.
So
and it's informative, you know what I mean? Like it's letting people hear the real side of like investigating, you know what I mean? It's not saying some fucking TV bullshit. This is what we're doing, real investigations, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's most important for me, you know.
Yeah, I'm down too. And educating people with, with at least our fucking opinions, whether people take that shit or not.
Yeah, I mean,
investigate however the fuck you want. We're not here to tell you to do anything, but just give you our opinions on equipment and techniques and things like that. I mean, between the three of us, we have like 60 years of experience or some shit. So, quite a bit of investigating. So, and thousands of locations, I'm sure, between the three of us too. So,
all right,
everybody. Well, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. It's been fun. Austin and John. Austin, you have a good night. Don't let anything follow you home or molest you.
Oh, I hope both.
He said, I hope it rains dicks.
Look, if we see you on the next podcast, you got a mushroom whelp on the side of your cheek. You know what happened.
You've been mushroom stamped.
You've been paranormally dick slapped.
The
first person to get mushroom stamped in the
it's happened to Zach Baggins, I'm sure. It'd be the second.
It's got to be demonic. If it happens, it's demonic.
Yeah.
If you get
demonic dick.
The dog got him. Demonic dick.
Getting that DD.
Yep, that little double D.
Getting the double D.
Oh, Lord. All right, everybody. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night.
All right, y'all have a good one.
See ya.